Hello everyone, here we are with the new saga for the channel. This time we will present the saga, What Would Happen if Broly Lost Control. As many of you have already seen this time will be different because Broly will lose control to his Oozaru form. If you're curious to know what's going to happen, I recommend that you continue until the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video to contribute to the channel, and then share it with your friends who also like Dragon Ball. That said, grab your lunch, turn off the lights in your room, and join this amazing saga. Everything was fine on Earth, there were no attacks, and everything was in order. Goku was meditating on the grass near Bulma's house, when suddenly Vegeta appears. The Prince of Saiyans was watching and trying to understand what Kakarot was planning to do. Vegeta felt that Goku was slightly distressed and decided to continue watching him. Goku then continued worried and a little nervous. Moments later, Goku stopped meditating and got very frustrated. Vegeta approached Goku and questioned him. "What are you trying to do?" asked the Prince of Saiyans to Goku, who was surprised to see Vegeta there. Goku then said, "Vegeta, what a surprise. I didn't imagine seeing you here," said Goku while Vegeta grumbled seeing Goku's stupidity. Vegeta surly said, "It's amazing how you can be so stupid. I'm at my house. Obviously I would show up here," said Vegeta while Goku laughed at himself. Goku then replied, "You're right. For a moment I forgot where I was," said Goku laughing nervously. Vegeta again asked, "And what the hell are you doing here?" questioned Vegeta once again, quite intrigued by Goku's situation. Goku replied, "Well, I'm bored. There are no more enemies for me to face, and there's not much I can do to have fun around here." "Tell me, Vegeta, do you have a suggestion of what I can do?" questioned Goku, facing Vegeta, who thought about what he could say to Goku. Vegeta then remembered something and said, "You promised Broly a while ago that you would train him. You should take advantage of your free time and do this," said Vegeta, leaving Goku quite excited with the idea in which Vegeta reminded him. Goku, quite excited, gets up and holding Vegeta's shoulder he says, "You're a genius, Vegeta," said Goku, thanking Vegeta and then teleporting to another place. Goku teleported to the place where Broly lived and started looking for him. While looking for Broly, the Saiyan warrior was very excited because he really wanted to train his friend. Then suddenly Goku felt an extremely powerful energy. Goku flew following that energy. By following its powerful energy, Goku found Broly, who was hunting dinosaurs with Chirai. Goku approached the two and almost received a stray ki blast. Goku says, "Oops, that one came close," laughing nervously after dodging the blast. Soon after, Broly comes to greet him, saying in a friendly way, "Kakarot, how long has it been, right? How is it going?" questioned Broly while Goku landed next to Broly and Chirai. Goku was happy to see Broly and replied with a smile, "I'm doing well, Broly. Things are going well too. But enough about me for now. What were you doing these times?" said Goku to Broly. Broly was excited as he wasn't expecting such a sudden visit as Goku. Broly, turning to Goku, replied, "So, I've been training a lot lately, and you know, I imagine you've trained a lot too. I'm happy to see you after so long. Let's go to my place and I'll fix some lunch for us to catch up and everything," Broly said to Goku, in that Broly was already heading towards his own house, so that they could eat and discuss what they had been doing lately. Goku laughs and says to Chirai, "Apparently he's very happy today," said Goku while Chirai watched Broly flying and leaving her behind. Goku then looked at Chirai and asked, "Do you want me to carry you on my back while I fly?" questioned Goku, looking at Chirai, who had a very serious look. Chirai coldly and dryly says, "Follow me, I'll show you the way on foot," said Chirai, walking, and Goku was forced to follow her. While Goku walked with Chirai to Broly's house, the legendary Super Saiyan was already early. Arriving at his house, Broly began to prepare a protein-rich and nutritious lunch for Goku and Chirai. Broly had time to learn some meals with Chirai, who had taught him very well. After finishing preparing lunch, Broly organized the table and waited for Chirai to arrive with Goku. After a few minutes of waiting, Goku finally arrived, and the moment Goku saw the meals that Broly had prepared, he sat down and prepared to eat. After a few spoonfuls, Goku felt compelled to comment on what he thought of the food that Broly had prepared with so much care and attention. Broly watched Goku eating and got slightly tense because he wanted to know what his friend was thinking. So Goku commented, "This is perfect. No, this is more than perfect. Thank you so much. I'm definitely not going to stop eating this here," explained Goku, praising Broly's food, who was very happy for Goku's praise, who continued to eat without stopping. Chirai, seeing this, rudely says, "You Saiyans don't have an iota of education, do you?" said Chirai, watching the unbridled way that Goku ate more and faster. Goku then looked at Chirai slightly confused and innocently said, "Since you won't eat your food, I'll eat for you," said Goku, taking the bowl of food from Chirai and starting to eat, which made Chirai furious, which Broly burst out laughing seeing the situation. Chirai looked at Brawly with a sinister look that startled him, making him stop laughing right away. While all this was happening, someone was spying on Goku and Brawly from afar, and in a sneaky way, the spy then decided to get out of there and ran into the middle of the forest. Entering the forest and walking a little further, the spy found a ship that was his ship, which he had left hidden there. The spy then entered his ship and turned on the communicator, trying to get in touch with someone. Until someone finally answered him. It was a soldier from Frieza's army. The grumpy and impatient soldier said, "What do you want? We have already warned you that you should only call us when it's really important," said the soldier. The spy then says, "I need to speak with Frieza urgently," said the spy, revealing that he worked for Frieza, who was planning something. The soldier rolled his eyes and replied, "Do you really think I'll call Frieza for anything? Tell me what it is and I'll let Frieza know," said the soldier, making the spy slightly impatient. The spy replied, "If you don't let me talk to Frieza now, I will blame you for the failure of our mission," said the spy, threatening the soldier, who even lost patience, decided to call Frieza. After a few minutes of waiting, Frieza finally appears in contact and says, "It better be something very big, because if it isn't, I'll be there in the blink of an eye, and I'll kill you," threatened Frieza coldly, while the spy remained calm. The spy then said, "Goku arrived here and already contacted Brawly. Apparently Goku won't leave here anytime soon. I believe this is the perfect time to execute our plan. What do you think, my lord?" questioned the soldier to Frieza, who was very thoughtful after hearing the words of the spy. The spy continued saying, "If you allow me, I will carry out this mission with all my strength and show all my potential," exclaimed the spy quite confidently. After a moment of thinking, Frieza gave a light laugh and said, "You have full permission to start our plan. Besides, I wish you luck," Frieza said, laughing, and soon after hanging up the call, leaving the spy slightly nervous and worried. Returning to Brawly and Goku, the Saiyans were sitting talking about the adventures that Goku lived after finding Brawly. After a while talking, Brawly decided to ask, "Good Kakarotto, why are you here?" questioned Brawly, intrigued. Goku then replied, "Well, these days I don't have much to do, until Vegeta reminded me that I promised you I'd come back to train you, and that's what I came to do. I want to train you, Brawly," said Goku, impressing Brawly. "What will happen? What will Frieza and his henchmen plan to do? Will Brawly accept Son Goku's training?" Questions like these will only be answered in the next episode. That said, after the recap of the last episode of the saga, you will have the new episode. In the last episode of the saga, we saw that the Saiyan Son Goku was living in peace on Earth. The planet had not suffered threats for a long time. The Z-Warrior ended up getting bored due to the lack of enemies, and he had nothing to do. Then Vegeta reminded him that a long time ago he had promised Brawly that he would train him. Goku got excited about that and teleported at the same time to go find Brawly to help him improve his strength. After Goku found Brawly and Chi-Lai, Goku ate together with them the food that Brawly had prepared. In parallel with that, a spy of Frieza came into contact with Frieza for both to start the mysterious plan. What are Frieza and his henchmen planning? Will Brawly accept the idea of Goku training him? This you will find out in today's episode. But first, turn off the lights in your room and grab your lunch because today's episode is starting. Brawly was very excited at the idea of being trained by his great friend Goku. Brawly goes outside his house and begins to stretch in preparation, while Chi-Lai watches him. Goku, seeing the series of strange movements, was totally confused and turned to Brawly, questioning him. "What the hell are those movements you're doing?" said Goku, leaving Brawly impressed to see that Goku didn't know how to stretch. Brawly then replied with an authoritative tone and in a slightly arrogant way, showing off. "This here?" Brawly asked, referring to his stretches, and then continued saying, "I'm just getting ready for training. I was quite impressed by the fact that you didn't know how to stretch," said Brawly, making Goku have a good laugh. Brawly, with a wide smile, said, "Come here, I'll show you how to be truly prepared for training," said Brawly, calling Goku to teach him how to stretch. Goku understood what he meant and continued, "You're wrong to say that I don't know how to stretch. The way you stretch is very strange. I just wasn't sure what it was, but I think it would be good for me to at least try it out, to see if the way you stretch is really that good," said Goku after going toward Brawly, stretching in the traditional way. While walking after arriving next to his training partner, Goku observed what Brawly was doing and tried to imitate his movements, using the skills he gained when learning to do the fusion. Once Goku has almost perfectly copied Brawly's moves, Goku twitches a bit and finds himself much lighter and more flexible than Goku normally used to being. Goku turned to Brawly, impressed with the effect of the advanced moves he made. Goku was punching the air to take advantage of his lightness and fluidity. Until Brawly said, "Got it? This way of stretching greatly improves the efficiency of my training, and of course also makes me have better combat fitness. And the best part is that you are so relaxed that it improves both your physical performance as well as your mental and spiritual. Broly explained, leaving Goku quite impressed. Goku was really amazed with what just happened. Goku just didn't believe that a simple stretch would make that much difference. So Goku looked at Broly and said, "What kind of master did you learn this from? I want to meet the person and chat with them afterwards," said Goku while laughing with Broly. After finishing laughing, Broly replied, putting his hand behind his head flattered, "Chi-Lai taught me the yoga she practiced, and I modified it to help me in training and battles. But the problem is that you can only use it if you are prepared, because these stretches take time to perform perfectly," Broly explained while Chi-Lai smiled, watching Goku and Broly talk. Goku in disbelief replied to Broly, "So all this time, Chi-Chi could have taught me something? Did I lose so many fights that I could have won for nothing? Was it just stretching this whole time? If I had known it would be so simple, if I had just paid more attention to Chi-Chi or something like that, I would have done it years ago, and it would have helped me immensely even though it was something so simple and practical," said Goku, leaving Chi-Lai disappointed with such stupidity of Goku. Broly laughs and gives a friendly punch to Goku's head. And who knew that everything in the world would have something to teach us, right? But anyway, enough of dwelling on the past and talking about my techniques. I want to know how and what your training method is. And the main thing I want to know what you will have to teach me, said Broly, excited about what he could learn from Goku, who was excited to train him. The Z-Warrior was filled with emotion because the real training would begin, so Goku warned Broly saying, "It's better to get ready because this training is very intense," alerted Goku to Broly, who was already getting ready. Broly smiled proudly at such words and said, "You can bring it on. Don't go easy on me, and don't you dare underestimate me," Broly exclaimed. Goku then assumed an authoritarian posture because he was thinking he was a sage and pointed his finger at Broly saying, "You will not be able to transform, which means that even if it is difficult and heavy, you will have to train in your form basis, okay?" Broly was confused because he didn't think there would be rules, but quickly agreed. "Understood. I can't transform at all," Broly said to himself. Goku then took off and told Broly to get ready. "Getting ready, you're going to have to stop me from taking you down," said Goku, warning Broly. Goku transformed into a level 1 Super Saiyan and flew down. Broly had his arms raised, holding the Saiyan with all the strength he had. Upon noticing that Broly was succeeding, Goku transformed into a level 2 Super Saiyan and got even stronger, going back and forth at high speed, forcing Broly to use reflexes, perception, and mainly strength, and as Broly was adapting to speed, Goku it was turning into something more and more powerful. Goku then started exchanging punches with Broly, causing light winds that ruffled Chi-Lai's hair, who angrily said, "Hey, be careful what you're doing," exclaimed Chi-Lai, irritated. Goku and Broly moved away momentarily and Goku said, "Try to copy the moves I'm going to do," suggested Goku, entering his classic combat pose, followed by Broly, who did the same thing. Both faced each other again with an unstoppable exchange of blows. Broly tried to land a punch on Goku, who blocked the attack, forming an X with both hands. Then the Z-Warrior Son Goku tried to hit Broly, who defended himself in the same way that Goku did, making the Z-Warrior proud because Broly was learning a lot. Goku and Broly again paused the fight to talk and discuss their training. Goku raised his finger and said, "I recommend that from now on you focus on training your combat. Develop this and you'll be able to deal with warriors as powerful as I am," said Goku while Broly listened attentively. Broly then said, "Develop my combat? Alright, I'll do that," Broly exclaimed confidently. Goku smiled and said, "Well then, let's resume our fight," exclaimed Goku, advancing on Broly. While Goku and Broly trained, someone watched them from afar. That someone was none other than Frieza's spy. Quickly the spy moved towards Chi-Lai, taking her hostage, leaving Broly and Goku surprised. The spy then said, "I will not hesitate. I will do what I was trained to do." "Chaos," said the spy, shooting Chi-Lai, killing her in front of Broly. Broly was in a state of shock, and then he shouted, "Chi-Lai!" shouted Broly, starting to get furious. In the last episode of the saga, we had the beginning of the training of Goku, who was teaching Broly our Z-Warrior. Then started an intensive training with Broly, who was also giving tips on how Goku could stretch and become much more flexible. While training someone watching the two Saiyan warriors, that someone was Frieza's spy, who was lurking waiting for the right moment to start his malicious plan. After receiving Frieza's permission, the spy attacked the warriors. However, the target was neither Broly nor Goku, but Chi-Lai, who ended up being killed by the spy in front of Broly, who started to go crazy. What did Frieza and his henchmen plan to do with it? Will Broly really lose control? This you will find out in today's episode, but first turn off the lights in your room and grab your lunch because today's episode is starting.
Brawly became totally irrational and started screaming, releasing his ki, making the wind knock everything around him, even while Goku and Frieza's spy quite scared when they saw what was happening to Brawly. Frieza's spy was trembling in fear before Brawly. The spy was so scared he couldn't even move. Brawly's hair began to change color to something more greenish. His pupil began to disappear, leaving his eyes completely white, making it obvious to everyone there that something extremely destructive was going to happen. As Brawly's change took place, he screamed non-stop in rage as he saw that Chilai had died in front of him. Goku walked until he stopped in front of Brawly and faced him face to face, confronting him. But in doing so, Goku noticed something strange and got a bad feeling. Brawly's teeth were starting to get sharper, and Brawly was getting bigger. His scream was starting to sound like a roar, like a very ferocious animal. Brawly grew bigger and even more muscular. His hair was turning greener and his body was turning the hair on his arms and legs the same color as his hair. Upon seeing that, Goku realized what was happening and was completely terrified. Brawly was transformed into an Oozaru, in a legendary Oozaru. The spy, with legs shaking with fear, was impressed by Brawly's transformation and stammered, What? What power? What power is that?" So that was Frieza's true plan. Damn it. I don't want to die, shouted the spy, seeing Brawly carrying an energized ki attack through his mouth and shooting it in his direction. The spy was completely pulverized by Brawly. Before he was completely pulverized, Saiyan Son Goku was able to recognize the symbol on his armor, the symbol of Frieza's army. Goku realized that this was all Frieza's setup and was furious. Goku started to distance himself from Brawly, who was still screaming and growing, making more of his fur turn green, even though Brawly was in that state. Goku stood his ground and tried to calm him down, saying, "Brawly, calm down. Try to remember me. It's me, Goku, your friend, who was training you just now. You need to resist this. You're going to hurt a lot of people, and I know you don't want that," exclaimed Goku, trying to cut Brawly's tail, but Goku failed because he was hit by a punch from Brawly that threw him away. Brawly grew even bigger and darker, and soon after that he roared with a frighteningly monstrous and thick voice to his new trainer and until then friend. "Kakarot, I want to kill you! I want to kill you!" Brawly exclaimed several times, leaving Goku very scared. Goku, while getting up, said, "It turned sour," said Goku, stroking his head that was hurting because of Brawly's blow. Brawly looked back at Goku and out of control shouted, "Get out! Get out of my front! Brawly has to crush bugs! Crush bugs!" said Brawly like a wild animal, screaming at the same time that he was stomping non-stop. After saying that, Brawly's nails started turning black, and his hands got even thicker. Brawly looked at Goku and did a battle pose, preparing for a powerful attack, and then a white glow started to appear and blink, and with that, caused Goku to take several shocks and burn himself while trying to get close to Brawly. The Oozaru Brawly, even in the middle of its transformation, made the attack grow even more, making Goku remain immobile on the ground. While looking at that monster with a huge flash glow in his hand, Brawly roared even louder, releasing the attack on Goku, who tried to dodge it. But even with his effort to dodge it, Brawly's blow still managed to hit him. Goku, when turning to Brawly again, noticed that Brawly was even more muscular and kept his teeth as if he were a cruel and very bloodthirsty predator. His ears grew until they assembled spears with pointed blades, capable of cutting through even steel. Goku realized that he was in trouble, but he couldn't run away, because Goku wanted to calm Brawly as soon as possible. Because in the state Brawly was in, if Goku faltered, he could die. Goku saw that there was no other choice and started yelling at Brawly. While raising his power level, Goku was clearly more rational than Brawly, who was crazy, throwing ki blasts everywhere. Goku teleported to where Chilai's body was to put him in a safer corner, while Brawly grew even bigger and thus ended up transforming into a gigantic, green, and powerful Oozaru, but for some reason, he kept roaring as if he wanted more power. Goku was screaming as he transformed into a Super Saiyan Blue, as he thought he would have to face Brawly in a duel, and as this new form seemed to be even stronger than the one Brawly was using in his last confrontation with Goku, so Goku transformed into his powerful form to at least try to stop him in the fight. Goku's goal at that moment was to rip Brawly's tail off so that he could return to normal and stop the transformation for good. Goku was finished transforming. Brawly stopped roaring and started looking around looking for something. Brawly was looking for Chilai's body and Goku was making it difficult to find Brawly, and this irritated the legendary Oozaru, who fired several key blows in the direction from Goku, who defended himself with a Kamehameha that undid all of Brawly's attacks. Goku hit him in the face, injuring Brawly slightly. Brawly stomped and roared, trying to tell Goku to get out of the way, but Goku ignored him, so Brawly slapped Goku, which sent him flying away. Before Brawly reached Chilai's body, the Z-Warrior teleported to Brawly and landed a kick on the Oozaru's head. But that blow did not hurt Brawly very much, who held Goku's leg and threw him against the ground. Brawly, watching Goku on the ground, shouted, "Brawly kill Kakaroto! Brawly kill Kakaroto!" Said Brawly, filling Goku with several extremely powerful punches which make the planet that was bigger than that of Earth tremble with the pressure of the blows. Goku was unconscious and returned to his base form, freeing Brawly's path to Chilai's body. Now that the path to Chilai's body was free without any obstacles, Brawly went towards Chilai's body and picked it up, flying and running away with it to some distance, an unknown place. Goku after a while woke up and realized that hours had passed. Goku was worried because Brawly was gone, so the best thing Goku could do would be to meet the Z-Warriors so that they could deal with this threat. In the orbit of the planet of Brawly, there was a camouflage ship. It was Frieza, who was observing everything and was laughing because apparently his plan had worked. That said, after the recap of the last episode of the saga, you will have the new episode. In the last episode of the saga, we had the chaos implanted by Frieza's mysterious plan. After the spy of Frieza's army murdered Chilai in front of Brawly, he started to lose control once again. But this time it was different. Brawly was a different Saiyan, as he still had his tail. So when Brawly started to get angry, he ended up turning into an Oozaru. That's right, you heard. Brawly didn't need the moon to turn into an Oozaru. The legendary Super Saiyan then, with one blow, wiped out the Frieza spy from the face of the earth, which left Goku very worried about his friend Brawly. Warrior Z tried to rip Brawly's tail, but failed at the same time as he had tried. So after a quick confrontation against Brawly, the Saiyan, Son Goku, who had lost the confrontation, saw the legendary Oozaru leaving and carrying the body of Chilai. How is Son Goku planning to stop Brawly? And how did Brawly manage to transform without the moon? You'll find that out in today's episode, but before that, turn off the lights in your room and grab your food because today's episode is starting. Goku, who was on the ground after being defeated by Brawly, watched Brawly flee with Chilai's dead body in his arms. Goku then got up, wiping the dust on his clothes. The Saiyan was breathing heavily. Goku tilted his head and looked up at the cloudy sky, stretching his aching body as he recovered. Thoughts suddenly began to appear in the Z-Fighter's mind. Goku thought that he should meet Vegeta, not only him, but also all the Z-Fighters, to end the threat of Brawly in his newest Oozaru form as soon as possible, as Brawly was a threat to the entire universe, that the Z-Fighters knew. Goku felt guilty for not having thought of cutting off Brawly's tail earlier, but Goku pulled himself together and thought to himself that now was not the time to be moping around about anything. Goku rested a little longer, since even if he managed to get up, he would still be exhausted from the fight with Brawly, and he still wouldn't be able to go to Earth and ask the Z-Fighters for help. Earth, with his teleport, even though he was exhausted, and the first thing Goku did was look for his friends. The first to see him was Piccolo, who was worried to see Goku exhausted and worried. Piccolo then asked, "Goku, what happened? Why are you like that?" questioned Piccolo when he saw Goku sitting on the ground. When looking better at Goku, Piccolo, Gohan's master, notices bruises on Goku's body. Goku with a deep breath because he was still tired and looked at Piccolo saying, "It was Brawly. I found him on the planet and he was with Chilai. Brawly taught me new techniques we learned from Chilai. And he also trained together. Brawly was very happy to see me and even served me a delicious meal. Until the time came for us to train intensely. Brawly ended up doing very well. He really evolved quickly, as expected of him. But then we found out that there was a servant of Frieza watching us. Frieza's minion killed Chilai in front of Brawly, and Brawly lost control," said Goku, crestfallen. Piccolo was astonished and asked Goku with a tone of surprise, "Frieza, what does he want with Brawly?" asked Piccolo quite nervously, because he knew that if Frieza joined Brawly, who was out of control, that would be a big threat. Goku looked down at the memory of what had happened and said with a disappointed tone, "I don't know what Frieza wants, just as I don't know why he would send a subordinate to do that. Brawly fled with Chilai's dead body. I came back here because I'm going to need backup to go after him and control him," said Goku with a sad tone of voice while Piccolo thought about what to do. Piccolo, not understanding who the Saiyan was referring to and curious to know who that spy was, once again questioned Goku. "Who was that spy and what the hell did he do?" questioned Piccolo, intrigued. Goku exhaled deeply and said, "I don't know who the spy was, and I won't know. He was killed by Brawly, so it doesn't matter." Deduced seriously by Goku. Goku looked at Piccolo, who looked confused, and uttered the following words. Brawly was screaming for a while after what happened, and in a matter of seconds, Brawly started to get bigger, and the environment around him started to fall apart.
I tried to calm him down but was unsuccessful, and over time his nails turned black, his scream was more like a roar, and his hair became greenish and spiky. While Goku said that, Piccolo showed a more scared expression because he didn't want Goku to confirm what he was thinking at that moment. Piccolo interrupted him. "But it's not possible. It cannot be," Piccolo said nervously while Vegeta appeared. Vegeta was listening to the hidden conversation until he decided to show up. Goku continued saying, "Green hair began to be born on his body. His teeth became sharp. Broly became even bigger and launched a very powerful ki spear, making the spy evaporate. And when I turned to Broly again, he had already turned into a green Oozaru, huge and powerful. I tried to stop him, but I ended up getting slapped. And I stayed in that state, but before I lost consciousness, I saw him running away with Shilai's body," said Goku, leaving Vegeta and Piccolo completely impressed and afraid of what could happen from there on. Piccolo took a deep breath and then questioned, "So you want to tell me that Broly managed to transform into an Oozaru, and on top of that, he became a legendary Super Saiyan? But how is that possible? Broly didn't have the moon, so there was no way he could change," said Piccolo, trying to understand what could have happened. Vegeta then decided to comment on the case. "It's possible that Broly used the technique of creating a moon with ki, as I did in the past," said Vegeta, answering Piccolo, who then looked at Goku waiting for answers. Goku said, "No, he didn't. There was no moon, and even less that technique you mentioned, Vegeta. It's as if he transformed out of sheer hatred. But that's basically impossible. We need to talk to Beerus and Whis. They can help us locate Broly, and we'll have to cut off his tail so he can be controlled and contained," said Goku while Vegeta and Piccolo faced each other. Vegeta turned his face to Goku and stared at him, then questioned him, saying, "The right thing would be to look for Frieza and finish him off until his skull disappears. That way we could discover his plan," suggests Vegeta while Piccolo grumbled. Piccolo said, "I don't think this is a good plan. I believe Frieza will keep quiet for now. We should focus on looking for Broly," said Piccolo, starting a light discussion with Vegeta. While the warriors argued, Goku meditated, but it wasn't just any meditation. Goku was trying to locate Broly's ki. Piccolo turned to Goku and asked, "What are you going to do?" asked Piccolo, looking at Goku, who got up. Goku, after getting up, looked at the Z warrior and said, "I found him," said Goku. Piccolo then put his hand on Goku's shoulder, who was preparing to teleport. Vegeta was reluctant about this, but Goku had no time for his rival's impatience and teleported him and Piccolo to Broly's location to end that threat once and for all. What will happen? Will Broly be defeated by the Z Warriors? Is Frieza involved in Broly's mysterious transformation into the legendary Oozaru? Questions like these will only be answered in the next episode, because today's episode ends here. Hey guys, I know it's sad when today's episode unfortunately ends, but don't worry, because the next episodes are coming. If you liked it, don't forget to leave your like because it helps us a lot, and it motivates us to continue with these videos which you like so much. Comment your theories of what might happen in the next episode, and share the video with your friends so you can watch it together. That's it, see you guys!